Hello, everyone. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of the video and then go back and talk about things in the video to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think were done right and are done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello, I'm Captain Stacy Spell, Commanding Officer of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred near 77th Division on June 24, 2021 at around 10:39 p.m. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case, so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We are still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of the incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. On June 24, 2021, at around 10:39 p.m., uniformed 77th Street area gang enforcement detail officers were patrolling an alley adjacent to the 1300 block of 88th Street when they observed the suspect standing next to a parked vehicle. The officers observed an object resembling a handgun in the front pocket of the suspect's sweatshirt and attempted to detain him. The suspect ignored the officer's commands and began to walk away. The suspect then removed the handgun from his pocket, at which time an officer-involved shooting occurred. That suspect was later identified as Darryl Grant. Grant was not struck by gunfire and was taken into custody. The officer-involved shooting was captured on the digital in-car video. Most marked vehicles assigned to patrol have a camera mounted inside which activates when the camera lights are turned on. The camera can also be manually activated. These digital in-car cameras have a buffer of video without audio. Upon activation, the camera goes back 1 minute and starts recording. Here's the digital in-car video from the officers involved in this incident. The officer-involved shooting was also captured on the body-worn video. Body-worn video cameras are used by most officers assigned to field duties. They're worn at chest level and capture a general perspective within line of sight from that angle. The angle of the camera prohibits viewers from seeing everything the officers saw and experienced. Upon activation, both audio and video will turn on. However, body-worn video cameras have a buffer of video without audio from the previous 2 minutes prior to activation. This feature is designed to capture incidents that occur suddenly, where an officer doesn't immediately activate the camera. Here's body-worn video from the officers involved in this incident.
Gun. Hey, let me see your hands.
Hey, get on your stomach, man. Get on your stomach.
Just south.
Don't move.
I have nothing.
Did you shoot him?
Commodore 52.
Hey, are you hit?
Did you
88
shoot
in
him?
Normandy. East West Valley,
Did you
South
shoot
of
him?
Vegas.
Get back. I don't have.
Are you
Did
hit?
they shoot you, man?
I don't know, man. I don't.
12 George, back to repeat.
George, my sister, you received shots fired.
Rock the car, go hit him!
Hey,
George, my two.
hey, where'd you throw the gun?
I have a suspect prone out right now. We're gonna be in the east-west alley, south of 88.
East of Normandy. 88 in Normandy. West Valley, South of 88. Shots
Did
fired.
y'all shoot him? Are you okay, man?
I don't
Are you
know,
okay?
baby. I don't know.
Do you feel anything?
Hey, do you see where he tossed it?
Yeah, it's to the left.
Can y'all
It's to
check
the left.
somebody? No one's
Over
gonna
here?
fucking check.
It's to the left, bro. Don't worry.
Okay.
No one's gonna fucking
Face
check
your head
the
to
seat.
the left, man. Are you hit?
I don't know, sir.
All right, we're gonna check you out, man. We're gonna check you out. Be cool.
All units, all sending is Help 88 in Normandy. All sending is Help 88 in Normandy, East West Alley, South of 88. In the area, unit coming on 77 frequency. Shots fired.
Babe, are you okay?
I don't know, baby.
I can see the gun, bro. I can
Okay.
see the gun. Right.
Come on, let's go check to see if he shot. I was standing right here doing nothing to nobody. I don't got nothing for y'all see if he shot. They fucking
Hey,
shot at
hey,
him. See if he shot. Please.
Yeah, the gun's over to the left.
Hey, let's deal with him and then let's deal with him.
Okay.
Why do I have to turn around? I ain't did nothing. No.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
To the left, man.
26 around another unit coming.
Guys, I got this. Don't move. Stay still.
Okay.
Hey, just leave it there since we haven't.
Yeah. Let me just get someone to watch it. Just to. All right.
Are you hurt? Be cool, man. All right, I'm gonna sit you up, right?
Airback location.
Stand up. Easy, man. Let's check you out, all right? Make sure you ain't got nothing else. Hurt, all right? All right, spread your legs for me. Spread your legs, spread your legs. Hey. Good, man. So make sure you're good, all right?
Grant was transported and booked into an LAPD jail facility. Investigators recovered Grant's handgun at the scene and booked it as evidence. Investigators discovered that the handgun was a ghost gun. Ghost guns are firearms manufactured without serial numbers and do not require background checks for purchase, making them untraceable to law enforcement authorities. Ghost guns are generally homemade from polymer plastic or metal that needs minor modifications to make them operable. On June 29, 2021, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed one count of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person against Grant. Darryl Grant is a resident of Los Angeles. In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is complete, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. The board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. If you would like more information on how the LAPD and LA District Attorney's Office investigates all officer-involved shootings and other serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can also find the LAPD's use of force policy and procedures. Thank you for taking the time to view this critical incident community briefing.
All right, let's get into this. So the two gang officers are out doing their job. They're being proactive and they're coming down through this way, and they spot this suspicious person, and they can see that he's got a gun. Now, cameras are great and they're good for proving things that happened and whatnot, but they're not humanized. They don't have that kind of clarity, and these officers were able to see with their eyes that this person had a gun. However, unfortunately, the camera just can't pick that up in detail like the human eye can. But he's got it. At this point, they're talking to him, and he's not really paying attention to what they got to say, and he starts to walk away. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's under the influence of something. The vehicle up here is his woman. I guess they were meeting in an alley. Without the audio, the car cameras,
Also captured
doesn't show a whole lot.
both involved in.
Now they're driving along in the car. They're in the alley, and they decide to get out of the vehicle. At this point, as soon as he threw that thing in the park, I think that he should have reached up and turned on his camera. And same for the passenger. I think that activating your camera before you get out of the vehicle is the best way to go about it. It's what I do. Anytime before I get out of the car, I'll go ahead and just double tap and get that camera rolling. And that way, when I'm out and I'm dealing with someone and something happens spur of the moment, or it's a prolonged interaction, and I've been dealing with them for like a minute, and then 5 minutes goes by, and within that first minute of dealing with them, they said something or did something that I would like to later like to be like, oh man, I wish I had that on camera. Because if something goes on within the 5 to 8 minute mark of me dealing with them, well, whatever happened in the very first interaction isn't recorded, because my camera only has a 30-minute buffer on it, and it's an Axon, and I can tweak it to do the 2 minute, but once you go outside that 2 minute window, you lose everything. So I prefer turning the camera on before I get out of the car. That way the entire interaction is captured, and a lot of times the interactions end up being nothing, and I can just go back and delete the footage and wipe it off the camera and save space. But I've always found it to be a good practice to just turn it on and let it roll, and at the end of the event, camera turns off, and if I need to go back to review the footage for something, then I've got everything from that interaction I've dealt with. If there's some type of bullshit complaint that comes about, that footage is there, and that footage is saved for a certain amount of time before it goes away, and it's just an overall better practice, I think, to go ahead and just turn the camera on and get it recording before you even get out of the car. That way you record everything that goes on. And the more you record, the better for you. The more it's going to cover your ass. So right now it's missing all the verbal commands they're giving him and all that. Which in this kind of instance, it's not that big of a deal that they're missing out on that. But, they're in other scenarios, could have missed something. Now, at this point, he has his utility light out, and he's using his utility light to illuminate, and then he decides, hey, I need to bring my gun out and point it at him. He has a weapon-mounted light. Once that decision was made to pull the gun, that means you're ready to fight. A utility light in that scenario has no use unless the weapon-mounted light itself is out, it's broken, it's dead battery, whatever, and the utility light is the only thing you can use to fight with in low light. His weapon light works, so in my opinion, he should have stowed the utility light or dropped it, whichever, and just activated the weapon-mounted light and go from there. He produces the gun here in a second, and officer fires. Well, he still has this utility light in his hand, and when he goes to fire, he tries to get a two-handed grip while holding the flashlight. And you're not going to get a good two-handed grip while holding a big clunky flashlight. It's just not going to happen. And I'm trying to maybe find the right freeze frame, but it's not going to happen because it never gets to work out for me where I get that perfect freeze frame. Yeah, that's about the best I can get. But he tries to go in with a two-handed grip on the gun while still holding the flashlight. He should have just ditched that flashlight and got rid of it, because in this moment, the flashlight is hindering his ability to put rounds on target. And I think that was a contributing reason to why he didn't put any rounds on target. And same for the other officer. The other officer is shooting one-handed. I think that is why both of them missed their target and didn't put any rounds in them. They just didn't have a good two-handed firing grip.
Hey, let me see your hands.
Now, one thing I do like is he does a reload.
Hey,
Gets that magazine, fresh magazine in the gun in preparation to fight some more if he has to.
get on your stomach, man.
Now, he only fired but a few rounds. We know this because we are watching it in a cool, calm environment with no stress, no adrenaline whatsoever. For him, though, he just had to fight for his life. And he may not have been able to recall how many rounds he fired exactly. And that is one of the reasons why it is taught to do a reload after shooting some rounds, because in a fight with the adrenaline pumping and the endorphins flowing and all that good stuff, fight or flight, when it kicks in, you can have a bunch of things going on to you physiologically and psychologically. And you may think that you only fired a round or two, but in all reality, you fired 7. And it's always that safe practice to, after you fired some rounds, go ahead and put a new magazine in that gun. That way, if you have to fight some more, you have a full magazine to be able to fight some more, versus you fired about 7 rounds and now you only got a few rounds left until slide lock. And it's always better for you to change magazines under your terms, meaning when you got the nice time to do it and it's to your benefit, it's never a good time to have to insert a magazine when that slide gets locked to the rear, because that sucks.
Get on your stomach.
Be in the east-west alley, just south of the
Don't move.
I don't have nothing.
Did you shoot him?
North 52.
Hey, are you hit?
Did you
88
shoot
in
him?
Normandy, East West Valley,
Did you
South
shoot
of
him?
Bacon.
Get back.
I don't have.
So they tell her to get back, and
88 in Normandy, East West
She-
Valley, South of Bacon.
Get back.
I don't have.
Are you hit?
Did they shoot you, man?
and she responds with, "I don't have to." And whoever did the captioning for this video, I would like to think that they have a pretty good sense of humor, because they spelled out the way she pronounces baby. They could have just wrote, baby, but they they spelled it out like that. Anyway, aside from that,
I don't know.
she is
Close
she's a nuisance right now, is what she is. And she's obviously connected to him. She's calling him baby. They probably have some type of relationship going on. And she is causing chaos for these officers right
Hey.
now. Because you can see over here, this officer is trying to maintain
Hey, where'd you
cover
throw
on
the
this
gun?
guy. And then you'll see him look back at her to make sure that she's not doing anything stupid, and that she's not pulling out a weapon or something to try and get revenge on them for shooting at Bebe. And when the other officers get up there, she continues to be a problem.
It's to the
Can
left.
y'all
It's to the
check
left.
somebody? No one's
Over
gonna
here?
fucking check.
It's to the left, bro. Don't worry.
Okay.
No one's gonna fucking
Face
check
your head
the
to
seat.
the left, man. Are you hit?
I don't know, sir.
All right, we're gonna check you out, man. We're gonna check you out. Be cool.
All units, all sending is help 88 in Normandy, all sending is help 88 in Normandy, East West Alley, south of 88, in the area, unit coming on 77 frequency, shots fired.
Babe, are you okay?
I don't know, baby.
I can see the gun, bro. I can
Okay.
see the gun. It's right.
And you hear that engine purring in the background.
Come on, let's check to see if he shot. I was standing right here doing nothing to nobody.
All right, here she goes again with her bullshit. I'm just standing right here not doing nothing to nobody. Yeah, bitch, you are. So, that kind of bullshit really pisses me off. She is doing nothing but adding chaos to this already chaotic scene. They don't know what her intentions are. They've told her to get back. She's refusing to. She's being disruptive. They cannot focus all of their attention on this guy right now, because she's in the background making a bunch of noise and being a headache. And so if this guy had another weapon on him, and while they're trying to maintain visual on him and then also maintain visual on her, because they don't know what she's going to do, their attention is diverted, and this guy could have attacked and attacked them when they were focusing on her, trying to get her to stay back and not create a problem. When the other officers get there and they tell her to get back, she comes up with the same shit. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't even got to.
Yeah, the gun's over to the left.
Hey, let's deal with him and then let's deal with him.
Okay.
So this is like the second time these officers have told her to get back, and in all reality, it's like the third or fourth time that she's been told to get back and get away from this situation. I am not a big fan of having to tell people something multiple times. I've kind of always operated off the ask, tell, make policy. I'm going to ask you to do it. I'm going to tell you to do it. and then I'm gonna fucking make you do it. And I don't think that people follow that policy a whole lot like they should. And you know they've told her twice to get back already, and she's obviously not moving. It's time to make her get back. If they're not going to follow your instructions, you physically make them follow your instructions. And at this point, she's causing a problem. She is diverting their attention from a deadly situation, and is doing nothing but adding chaos to the scene. She's doing nothing helpful at all. In fact, she is unhelpful at this point. So they should have just went ahead and hooked her up, put her in cuffs, and dragged her off and put her in the back of the car. And then she can yell all she wants in the back of that car. Who cares? But on the scene like this, on a deadly physical force encounter like this, where these officers had to fight, and now she's doing nothing but just running her mouth, being an oxygen thief. You know what? She can waste oxygen in the back of the cars, as far as I'm concerned. And I think that's what they should have done, is just hooked her ass up and put her in the car.
All right, go ahead. To the left, man.
26 right now, you get
You guys, I got this arm.
Don't move. Stay still.
And she's still being a problem. And watch this guy. I'm gonna hit rewind. Watch this guy's facial expressions.
Hey, just leave it there since we haven't cut.
He's like, this fucking bitch.
Hey, just leave it there since we haven't cut.
The fucking shit you deal with in public service.
Let me just get someone to watch it just to, all right.
Make sure you ain't got nothing else. Her, right?
Well, go to the second guy's camera. So same kind of thing with him, like I mentioned earlier. You know, I think it would have been better if he went ahead and activated his camera before getting out of the vehicle. At some point, he also says, hey, you know what? I need to go to gun. So at this point, he should have went ahead and just put utility light away and turned on weapon-mounted light and used the weapon-mounted light to focus on this guy. They already know he's got a gun, so there's no reason why he should just continue to point a utility light at him and keep his weapon down. No, you already know he's got a gun. Put the utility light away and light him up with the weapon-mounted light. Illuminate him that way, and maintain a two-handed grip. That way, when he becomes a deadly threat, which he does, then you've got a better firing platform, so to speak. Two-handed grip is always going to be better than one-handed grip. And as I said, I am pretty confident that the reason these two officers at this close range completely missed this guy is because they were shooting one-handed. So we can see this gun right there, clear as day, which to the camera, and until you slow it down and zoom it in, it's not as clear as day, but for their eyes, it is, because the human eye can always see better than the camera. Now, at some point, this guy must have had success with this tactic, or has known someone to have some kind of success with this tactic. And I wouldn't be surprised if in Los Angeles, with all the liberal judges and crap down there, that someone has had, or some people have had, some degree of success with pitching a gun like this. Because I've seen this in another video from Los Angeles where a guy, it was two gang officers, I believe. They were stopping this car. Dude got out, ran. It was daytime. It's kind of like an industrial area. Ran in through an open fence area to this plant of some sort. Threw his gun on top of what looked like a storage container or a big dumpster. and it scattered off the top and hit the ground. And then he tried to pick it up again. That's when the officer shot him. And I want to say I've seen another video where they tossed a gun, and it just makes me think that in that area, people have had some degree of success with avoiding criminal charges by doing this. And I say that because why else would these fucking morons do this shit? Within the last couple years, all this attention on police use of force has just been so concentrated that there's no way this guy has been living the last 2 years with no knowledge of the media and all these activists talking about police use of force and sharing all these news stories and these videos of people being shot by the police. There's no way he's gone the last 2 years without seeing any of that shit. And this guy being followed by the police, his bright idea is to pull a fucking gun out and try to throw it. Like, what are you, fucking retarded? He had to have known that he was going to be shot at. But I am assuming that there is some degree of success with avoiding charges if you can successfully throw your evidence away. Why else would he take that grave risk of pulling a gun out with two cops right behind him, shining flashlights on him, being able to see him? Why would he pull that gun out? Knowing damn well for the last 2 fucking years, the only thing probably on his news feed has been stories of police shooting people and shooting people of color and all the BLM stuff. Like, it's so concentrated. There's no way that you can go any length of time without hearing anything about police shooting people. So either there's two things. One, they have a high degree, or not a high degree, but some degree of success of avoiding criminal charges if they can throw their gun away. Or B, this guy is just dumb. And it's really amazing that out of the millions of years of evolution, this dude's genes made it. Like 50,000 years ago, his ancestors somehow managed not to accidentally murder themselves. But yet he is the product of millions of years of evolution. This dude right here was the sperm that won. That shit blows my mind. You would think that, I don't know, he would be a little bit smarter than that. But guess not. And that's job security for public servants in that area, and hell, for that matter, job security for public servants all across the nation with oxygen thieves like this. A little bit of a rant on that.
Investigators recovered Grant's handgun at the scene and booked it as evidence. Investigators discovered that the handgun was a ghost gun.
Ooh,
Ghost guns are firearms.
a ghost gun. So the top of the gun is not a ghost gun. The top came from a factory. The bottom part probably, I guess, is what they call a ghost gun. Probably has no serial number on it or whatever. And it looks like a shitty quality too. You see the trigger guard is already broken. Hell, it looks like it's about to break right here. And then these look like stress cracks or something. So I don't know if he shot the gun a few times and the gun's just falling apart on him, or if this is what happened when he threw it, or if he's had to throw it a couple times. But this damn thing's falling apart, and so I'd like to know more about this lower receiver here, because it's looks like a piece of shit. Now, this up here, like I said, this ain't a ghost gun. You're not gonna, like, there's no way this dude has a laser engraver and was able to pay the money to have some type of an engraver and put the nice symbol and lettering on here, but skimped on the money and bought a janky ass handle for the fucking gun. Like that just ain't working. So whatever this lower is, must be what the ghost gun is, and it looks to be shit quality. California is really big about ghost guns. Um, it's like I wouldn't say all the rage, but like anytime I hear ghost gun, it's always coming from California or somewhere out that way. Like the politicians, like Pelosi, talking about ghost guns and whatnot. So, and I don't know, you know, I don't foresee the actual street criminals um, buying kits and stuff and trying to put things together. I mean, it's possible that they're doing it. I think that this shit is just like all the other gun stuff um, that's out there. All the other guns they get are stolen for the most part, and they steal them from law-abiding people. And it could be like gun dudes who are making these ghost guns, and they're just leaving them in their car, just like all the other assholes who are leaving guns in their cars. And these little oxygen thieves come through and steal the damn things out of their unlocked car, or they just smash a window and rummage through their middle console that doesn't lock at all and steal a damn gun. I really don't see the common street thug ordering parts and putting together a ghost gun in a crack house. I just really don't see that. But you know what? It could happen. It could happen. Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.